Welcome back to part 3 of American Modernism. We're going to go ahead and just work with authors and the literature that we're going to be focusing on as well. So for major authors, we have T.S. Eliot as one of the knowns, William Faulkner, if you ever read anything by him, Ernest Hemingway, one of the greatest writers of the 20th century, and Gertrude Stein, which you saw a quote earlier from as well, part of the Lost Generation. And then, of course, the one we're going to focus on here, which is F. Scott Fitzgerald, and he is responsible for The Great Gatsby. So when you talk about the ideal American dream, it talks about endless opportunities and kind of a new Eden. Anything is possible. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. Hard work will get you to your dream. And that there is progress. Life should keep getting better and better. That is the ideal American dream. No matter where you are in your life, if you work, life should get better. And then the independent, self-reliant individual will always triumph. You don't need anyone else's help when you are capable yourself. So the American dream is your dream. People aren't giving you the dream. Now, this is just, of course, one variation of this, but this is kind of what's identified in American modernism. So the characteristics of modernism in American literature is, again, bold experimentation. You're trying different things. And it reflects the fragmentation of society. So there is no resolution in a worn path. So in this story, there's no resolution. It just stops, which doesn't really make all that much sense, but it's true. Just the story stops. Another one is rejection of traditional themes and subjects, such as loss of faith in religion and society. Something brand new. You guys worked with Puritan literature earlier on in the semester. The idea of loss in faith in religion and society and how that's kind of, that brings about the rejection of traditional themes is kind of huge for this section. And then a sense of disillusionment and loss of faith in the American dream, like Nick and Jake and Gatsby, which you're going to find out. American literature is supposed to focus on the American dream. Where's the American dream? Rejection of the ideal hero as infallible in favor of a hero who is flawed and disillusioned, but shows grace under pressure. So no one really likes focusing on a hero that is completely impervious to everything around it. People like heroes with flaws. And in this case, it applies to American literature because you have characters who are not perfect by any means, but grace under pressure, which is coined, I believe, by Hemingway, kind of shows that if the pressure amounts and you're left with only a handful of choices, you're still capable of making the right choice, even though everything is working against you. And then there's interest in the inner workings of the human mind, like, again, the stream of consciousness, to where it's a new narrative technique. It's not someone from the outside telling the story, but someone in the story as it happens to them, and you're kind of learning with them throughout the story. So it brings to the question, what is today's American dream? What is your American dream? Do you even have an American dream yet? And if so, is it multi-tiered? Can you achieve it early on in your life? Okay, where are you at with your American dream? So American modernist writers both echoed and challenged the American dream. They constituted a broader, more resonant voice than ever before, resulting in a second American Renaissance, so something new. With all the changes, however, writers continue to ask fundamental questions about the meaning and purpose of human existence. So is your American dream a two-story house with a white picket fence, and you have 2.5 children and a dog named Spot, and you own your own land? Is your American dream making millions of dollars, billions of dollars? What is it? Are you going to create something new and fresh? Are you going to revolutionize something? Or are you just going to have fun? What is your American dream? But when it comes down to it, it's not just the American dream itself. It's just what is the purpose and meaning of human existence. And here's an interesting cartoon. It talks about the American dream and how you have a contemporary lifestyle, house in the suburbs. Again, that minivan is kind of added with the 2.5 kids. You have culture, recreation, healthcare, and security. And you're able to live if you have the money. But where do you get the money? Well, you work for it. But when do you get that stuff? When do you really have security? When do you really have health care? So there's a lot of stuff that this kind of criticizes there with the American dream. And again, the guy we're going to focus on here that does work with the American dream with The Great Gatsby is F. Scott Fitzgerald, who lived 1896 to 1940. And he says, "Show me a hero and I will write you a tragedy," which is kind of a rough way to look at a hero. So a summary of his overall works, and I did link a biography for you to click on and to review and to give me 4 sentences of summary later on. So he wrote 5 novels and numerous short stories between the 1920s and the 1930s. He often portrayed extravagance and carelessness of the jazz age. If you want to know about the 1920s and a lot of the big moments of the 1920s and how people kind of thought to live in the 1920s, you read his stuff. So he authored The Great Gatsby, and it's also called the greatest American novel of the 20th century, which is why I'm still choosing to use it for you guys during this period of online learning, because it is a work that you need to read if you have the opportunity. Let me go ahead and in one more video explain to you what you're going to be doing over the course of the next 2 weeks. Thank you.